We are very well overdue some monthly favourites. Makeup in the morning, you got dresses in your closet, but you grab them tight. You might hear a little squeakity squeak like that. That is the chair, that is not my ass. First product is the By Ellie brow texture. Someone on TikTok took the top bit of this out when they were running low, and I did that, and I have so much more product in there. I really like this one because I feel as if it doesn't make your brows go super hard like some of the other ones I've used. I've recently been trying out a whole bunch of different brow gels and brow freeze, holds, textures, everything you name it, I've been trying it out because basically now is the time for me to try these things out before next year and try and find what I could possibly use on the wedding day. So I'm just gonna actually use my finger right now, or fingers should I say. Sometimes I just feel like that removes a lot of the residue. Then I'm just gonna go like this around it. Then with my brush, I'm just gonna help shape that a tiny bit better. I've been loving a tint, and I have been switching around some tints, but one of them I can't actually say right now because it's not released. I cannot wait to actually share it with you guys. Like, honestly, you're gonna love it. The other one that I've been using a lot of is the iconic one here. This is what they call their blurring skin tint, and I remember back in the day this and this one from Fenty I used to absolutely rinse and use all the time. Sephora cheek brush, and then start putting it on. Obviously this is a little bit lighter because, like I said, this is going into my more autumn winter shade, but I can bronze up the skin, and you will see me do that, and you're going to see this little method that I've been using recently that has just been making my skin look so juicy and nice and radiant. How has the weather just gone from being sunny when I sat down to now we are on the verge of grey and rain? I can actually hear the rain. Yeah, it's rained outside. I don't know if you're going to be able to hear that. Please tell me what you think of this setup. I have this set up when I film like reels and TikToks and stuff like that, but when I do YouTube videos I like to switch it up a little bit, and sometimes I use my backdrop and get more lighting. I do have quite a lot of lighting around me right now, I won't lie, because obviously when I come near I have studio lighting. Let me know what you think of this setup. Do you prefer this or the backdrop? I'm just gonna grab my MAC Fix Plus and I'm just gonna spritz my beauty blender. When I go on top with my damp beauty sponge, I feel like it just brings the skin back to life. It just makes it look a lot more flawless and skin-like. But as you can see, for a tint, that has such good coverage. As you can see, like, you can tell that it has a nice thin consistency, which is what you expect from a tint, especially if it starts to run down your hand, but it's not that watery, and you can see that it really has a nice amount of pigment. Now it looks like nighttime in here because it's like, this is the thing, when the weather changes into autumn, when everyone's like, oh my god, I love autumn, I love winter. No, I like to see sunshine coming through my window. Anyway, moving on. Number 7, creamy bronzer. This is really nice, and I don't know if I spoke about this before. I feel like I have. A lot of people would compare this to the Chanel Universal Bronzer. It's completely different, and in my opinion, it's actually better. I've been taking the number 7 bronzer with the Haru Haru Essence. Tiny, minuscule, right? But guys, honestly, when you do this little mixture, it looks so beautiful. Go like this. That nice bit thinner and glossy. Look at that. Like, that is literally just a few dabs. I really feel like it spreads out the product so nicely. Blending that in. Oh my god, I'm so hot in here now. This full video is going to be just bloody complaining. The Haru Haru Essence is a really good alternative if you wanted to try another milky essence that's on the market, like the Rhode one. I know all the girlies love that. Don't worry, I'm going to fix this up. I'm not going to be looking orange for the rest of the video. The Sculpted by Aimee Brightening Corrector. Because it's a bit more like a creamy paste texture, not a liquid, I feel like it actually works really well. Huda Beauty Folks Filter for Concealer. Now this one is actually not that far off of my foundation shade, and I'm first of all going to go in around the under eye because I feel like that is the main area that I tend to have issues with, and recently I've not been taking it like right up to the crease, and I just kind of go around it because that way I'm not building up too much product right near where I naturally crease or there's natural creases. Then I've been taking a more lighter shade, so this is the Toofaced one. I love this concealer. Putting it there, 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 and then mainly where I just want to lift the face essentially. So not this weekend, last weekend we had one of my nieces' sweet 16th and I did her makeup for it and she looked so beautiful. If you follow me on Instagram you might have seen, because I did actually put a story up showing the makeup result on her. I cannot believe how fast time is going and how quick all my nieces and nephews are growing up. It makes me a little bit sad, and also I do get really worried, you know, because this world is just do you know what, I'm not going to be morbid and I'm not going to lower the tone and I'm not going to bring you down, but it's just a bit of a crazy scary place right now, isn't it? Like, it's a bit mental. Cherry Blossom from Huda Beauty. I have been switching between this and my Skin Fetish, but there's also a different way that I've been using it, so I'm going to show you that today. First, I'm going to take Cherry Blossom product in there, making sure it's nice and even. Let me just quickly check that I've got no creasing. Definitely do. So bloody good in it. Also, thank you so much for everyone who's been giving me feedback on my first sort of like makeup wedding trial. I look back at it, and as much as I think the makeup is gorgeous, there is definitely some things that I want to change, and I'm definitely going to film another one very, very soon. Then what I like to do is I grab my Pat McGrath Skin Fetish in baby pink as well. For this, I take a fluffy brush. I do love this stuff, you know, and it's so funny. When I first got it, I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. Then I look up, and you believe in November we get Wicked Part 2. So excited. I am just going to take a tiny bit of the Mario powder. Oh my god, if you have fine lines or you know, more mature skin, like whatever, definitely try this out because it is such a nice, like, finely milled powder. Stunning. This one I'm just going to go along here though. I just like to do a tiny bit at the bottom of the nose. Also, because, you know, we're having a little chitty chat, a little catch up. There is something in my eye. That is not what I was going to tell you. Tula bronzer. Just an absolute staple. I'm going to be getting a mole removed. I am going to hopefully try and document that like I did many years back when I had the ones on my jawline removed. And I am going back to the same place because it's a place that I trust. And I know that Dr. Ascari can do such a good job because he did it before. I am nervous because, you know, it is on my face. Like, I am really nervous. And this one I did think about getting removed when I got those removed. But I was like, I'm not that bothered. I'm not that bothered. But it was always something that was like a at the back of my mind. I'm also hoping to be booking in some laser facials with Dr. Sarah Tonks. So I'm going to be trying out laser facials to see how they help. Now it's starting to look a little bit better. I'm going to go in with MAC Give Me Sun, an oldie but a goodie. First of all, we're going to take her into the sockets of the eyes. There is a palette that I'm going to show you guys that I've just been using so much, and I haven't bothered to put an eye primer on today. I just don't feel like it's necessary. Don't know what look I want to go for today though. Then I'm going to grab quite a little small brush like this and just put it at the backs of the cheekbones. Jordana Ticia, Apeachiate You is just my favorite, and I just never put it down. Like, I love this color so much, but because I want to do it with a gradient, this color goes so nicely with this House Labs one. This is the shade Pomelo Peach, so I put this one a little bit on the higher points, and this, as you can see, I still have a bit of the powder, like the baking powder. I just take this and then I start pressing it in like this underneath the eyes. Really helps make your face look super smooth as well because you're pressing in the rest of the baking powder. Gorgelina. We're now going to go in with Pomelo Peach and just on the highest point here. Sorry, look at that. Love that colour. I'm also just going to push this around my nose. I'm going to go in with a brand new product. I'm going to be real with you. I've only had this in my life for maybe like a week, maybe, no, a lie. Over a week, just over a week, okay? This One Size powder melt spray. I love this, and I thought, you know what? I want to give this a try. Long story short, I'm just trying to find a good setting spray. I don't like setting sprays that make my face feel tight. I hate it because as soon as I start to get expressionate or I'm smiling and moving around, it creates a tightness on the skin and it creates a film, and I bloody hate it. I think it's horrible, whereas sprays like this don't tend to do that. We're going on such a long-winded chat right now. The reason I'm saying is I used this on myself for my niece's birthday. On that night, I was sweating. They hired a hall, but it was so hot in there. And obviously I was dancing, so I'm a sweaty girl. I get sweaty just by doing the bare minimum. So I was sweating, but luckily my makeup still held up pretty good, especially on the outer perimeters of my face. Like, my upper lip was just gone for. But the rest of the face held up. I also put this on my niece as well, and her makeup stayed put the whole night. And then I used this another day when I went shopping, and when I got home I was like, this melts it so nicely. The fact I'm mentioning this in a monthly favourites when I've not even had it for a month, and I don't normally do that. Every single product that you will see me use in any monthly favourites, I have constantly been reaching for that month or even over, right? I've already used this much because it's become my go-to. It makes your skin look so flipping soft. It sets it in place. It is gorgeous, especially for a day-to-day, right? Doesn't have any overpowering smell either, which I hate sometimes with sprays. I was thinking I need to try the Urban Decay one again because that used to be my holy grail and I haven't had that in so long that I'm like, is it time to bring that one back? Okay. I feel like it adds life back into the skin, but it's not too radiant. When I went to do my niece's makeup, I took these 2 palettes with me, and these palettes have just been my go-to recently. I bloody love them. I did take obviously a whole bunch of them, but because of the photo image that she showed me for the inspiration of the makeup that she wanted, I just knew that I would need some of these sort of foils on here. We also did a little bit of glitter with one of the Steeler glitter just to intensify that a little bit more. But then the Better Than Chocolate Too Faced palette is just absolutely stunning for your browns, and then you've got some really gorgeous sort of like highlighting shades in there. So these have been the 2 palettes that I have been reaching for non-stop. This one is from Makeup Revolution and it is the True Icon palette. All of these are foils, these 2 are a cream, and then these are matte shades. I don't know if you can tell, but these 2 foils are really loved by me, and then these 2 brown shades are stunning. Starting off with Nice Buns by Too Faced. We're just going to deepen the socket. Look at that. I also love with the Better Than Chocolate range that it all smells so good. I love adding like a brownie shade under here because it also disguises like any sort of creasing that you may have. I'm going to look straight ahead to connect that ever so slightly before I blend it all. Just going to soften the edges. Also, just remember with these eyeshadows, we didn't even use a base. So this is just on top of my eyelid. Going to take this shade here, darken the outer corner. I really want to try and get my hands on some more Makeup by Mario makeup and then Hourglass stuff to do my next sort of like wedding makeup trial, but I literally cannot get anything right now because it sounds silly, but I bought this and then I bought some other stuff and I'm like, I literally cannot spend anything else. So I might add them on my list for Christmas and then I might do like another trial maybe in January. Do you know what? Let's add a little bit of colour. I'm going to go for this sort of greeny, golden, khaki shade. Cute. Just going to use a brush to blend those in. I don't normally use that khaki colour, but I thought why not try something new today. Taking this golden colour here. I do normally prefer to use my finger when I'm using them, but because I want to just put it in the inner corner, I can't get my finger exactly where I'm going to need it. Do you know what I mean? Oh my god, pretty. Look at that. I just love makeup. That makeup can be such a nice distraction as well sometimes. You know, quite like therapeutic. Put on some lashes. Ooh, we went for some dramatic lashes because I thought, why not? Lashes are drying down, so we're going to move on to the rest of the face. You guys know I love and adore the Beauty Light ones from Charlotte Tilbury. Now they are my go-to for highlighters. However, recently I was like, I have this in my collection. This is by Rare Beauty and it's the shade Transcend. As always, I take like a fluffy brush. This is one from Real Techniques. Look at that. Ain't that so beautiful? So I'm just bending my head because I have a mirror behind you. I'm going to put a tiny bit on the top, the nose. I'm going to go back onto the back of the hand, above the brow. I never thought I'd see the day where I start opting for another liquid highlighter. But here we are, ladies and gents. Here we are. I'm nearly finished with this, to be honest with you. It's the Collection mascara. The sun has come back out now. Like, what the hell? You can't make it up. Honestly, I think Collection are such a good drugstore brand. They do incredible products, just like NYX. Like, NYX are amazing, aren't they? Like, I really feel like we got such good drugstore products. Oh crap, that just went everywhere on my trousers. She is leaking. No. So this is the NYX Lift and Snatch Brow Pen. I use the shade Ash Brown, and for me, it is absolutely perfect. The absolute perfect shade. I just like to run it through and fill in any gaps, essentially. As I've got older, I've started to realise the less I fill them in. Can you see I've got a bit on my finger as well, where this just... that little dots all went over my trousers and their grey tracksuit bottoms. That's annoying. Yeah, I just feel like the less I fill in my eyebrows, the better they look. Like, when you look up close, it just looks better. I'm just going to put a bit on my mole as well. If you didn't know, Jordana has a collaboration with Beauty Crop and she brought out her own little lip kit. So I'm actually going to use 2 of the shades today. I'm going to use Cookie Cup and Kiss It Better. Out of all of these 3 shades, Kiss It Better is actually my favourite because I feel like it's such a nice centre colour for the lips. Then I'm going to do some little lines flicking up and down into the lip. Now it looks like this. I'm quickly just going to use my finger to blend it out because of course they do have a slight waxy texture to them. See what I mean? That softened it up already, and if you wanted to, you could leave it like that and just go and add a gloss. But for the purpose of the video, I really want to use Kiss It Better because out of the whole collection, this is actually what I've been using the most, and this is my personal favourite. putting it in the center of the lip, and then using my finger once again, because like I said, these do dry down very matte. This is actually the lip combo that I wore to my niece's sweet 16th, and it lasted all night, like genuinely. The only thing I did towards the end of the night is I put on a little bit of gloss because my lips were feeling a bit dry, but apart from that, like the lips actually lasted all night. Let's sort the hair out. Do you know what I didn't even realize? This is giving autumn. Like brown dark lip, green khaki eye. What? I subconsciously did an autumn look. By the way, these are Tatti lashes TL3. I literally just looked in my makeup collection and I went through lashes that I already used. So I was like, I'm just gonna put them on. They're so dramatic. They are so thick and full. But I was like, I've used them before, so I'm gonna get my usages out of them again. Do you know what I mean? Okay, you beautiful bunch, I'm actually gonna love and leave you now. Please do follow me on Instagram and TikTok because I post all the time during the week on both of those platforms. So I'd love to be connected with you over there. Okay, enough with the plug-in. I'm gonna go. Bye. Got it. Makeup in the morning, you got dresses in your closet, but you grab them tight, you in love with being mine.